welcome to the Neil Bailey Rides YouTube channel, episode 15. I'm Neil Bailey. This is... No, not Basil.
Nope. Good I thought you were supposed to take the point, man. Like, what are you...
I don't know what to do. I mean, without Basil, what are we going to do?
Well, like I said, he's never really here.
No, he's never here, is he?
I mean, freaking...
We're supposed to do an intro.
On an island and freaking aliens.
We're supposed to do an intro.
You ever thought maybe he is an alien?
I think he's an alien. I mean, we've got a great show, too. Well, anyway, look. He's done some cleanse or something. I don't know.
Another one of those, huh?
Well, anyway, thanks for stepping in, Nate.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot for you to come here and do the intro. So, we do have a great intro. Dean's come from Dice Magazine.
I heard, yeah. Been looking forward to meeting him.
Super. Very cool. You're going to enjoy that. Get off my lawn. You got some stuff for us?
Yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. Get off my chest, if you will.
Get off your chest. And I guess we'll just have to call Basil at home, right? I mean, he's cleansed. He said he can't leave the house.
Well, probably can't get away from the bathroom. Have you ever done one of those?
No, not me.
Man. Yeah. You ever had a colonoscopy?
I'm not for fun. I mean...
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the show.
Welcome.
Okay, to the main event. So our interview tonight, we have local legend Dean. Can't say your last name, so I'm not going to do it. So we'll just call him Dino. And rock star, musician, motorcyclist, magazine owner, world traveler, documentary filmmaker, father, and from England.
That's right.
So Dean, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Really happy to have you on. We've been trying to get on for a long time, but you're a busy man.
Yeah.
And
I don't know about busy. Lazy is the term.
Yeah, but we say busy.
Oh, busy. Yeah.
Americans don't like lazy.
Okay, busy. I'm busy.
They work all the time.
I'm really busy all the time.
Really busy. Really busy. Yeah. I mean, I know you're always up at the crack of noon, aren't you?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his Palm Pilot. Check it out. What? Look at your Palm Pilot.
It's my Palm Pilot.
That's what he had.
I've never done a day's work. See that? Clean.
Soft. So anyway, Dean, born in London, 1980.
That's right. Yep.
And you had a father who was into classic cars, motorcycles and stuff. So by the age of 12, you're on a 1951 Royal Enfield 125. Right?
Yeah, that was called the... Royal Enfield called it the Flying Flea. It was a 125. It was almost like... I think that's where BSA Bantam got their idea from. It was the precursor to that.
Right.
It was 125, two-stroke, yeah. And it was cool. It was like a tank shift, had 3 speeds on the tank. Yeah, it was a cool little bike. We'd take it to like car shows and festivals, and I'd just put it around.
What sort of stuff was your dad taking to the shows? American cars or Brit cars?
No, it was always 50s American cars. He was really into 50s Americana, clothes, music, cars. He was never really into bikes, but a lot of his friends were into bikes and cars, and, you know, it all kind of mingled in. So that's how it all started, really.
And then by the time you were, 15, 16, you were riding a BSA Bantam?
BSA Bantam came a couple of years after that. Probably, 14, 15, 16. And then...
Not on the road, though. I mean,
no.
At shows. And
yeah. First road bike was a Triumph 3TA.
Which was about, 67, somewhere around there?
It would have been mid-60s.
So very interested in this older British stuff. I mean, you weren't taken by the Japanese stuff in those days? Because it was big in those days. Japanese bikes were everywhere.
I mean, so were Harleys as well, but we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So it was always like a cheaper option, you know?
Were you big into cars in that time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I still am into cars, hot rods and, you know.
So that was but that was Dad's influence in the early days.
Yeah, so the whole he was just into it. So when I moved to America, you know, it was like the dream. Because I've always been into rock and roll and Levi's. So
at the same time you were a musician.
So it all kind of goes, the whole thing.
So what first brought you to America?
A girl.
That's simple, huh?
Yeah.
That was like a quick answer.
That's a girl. I mean...
So...
But no,
you met a girl and came to America, or she was American?
No, actually, that's a lie. Well, kind of. The car scene over here at the time, in California, it was a big resurgence of these young guys and girls building 50s style hot rods, stripped down. You know, it's more of a lifestyle thing, like, you know, the whole look and music and cars and all that. It was like a big scene.
So you wanted to come over to LA just to see the scene, get involved with it?
Yeah, because I was always into it. So I went to California first.
Right, there's a lot of parallel things going on because I mean, you become a musician, you got a band,
Yeah.
you're doing cars, you're doing bikes, you're coming to LA,
Yeah.
and then at some point in this whole mix of traveling back and forward, you met your good friend Matt,
That's right.
and
I met Matt in '95, so that was in London. London had a good scene. It was very underground. You know, we go to these rock and roll clubs in North London, in Camden and stuff. You know, and like the Russell Arms on a Wednesday night, it would be like a rock and roll club. But outside the front, it'd be like old bikes and cars, and you know, people were really into it. So that was kind of weird when I first got here, and it was like, oh, there's like a rock and roll scene, you know, and I'd show up, and everybody turns up in like a Toyota. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? This is weird. It's like that's what, you know, I've always kind of been a weirdo. I've always worn like Levi's and t-shirts and done my hair like Elvis or whatever, and you know, it was just funny to me because maybe it was a realization where I'm like, fuck, man, these people look like they're wearing costumes. And then I looked at myself and I'm like, fuck, I'm wearing a costume. You know, like it's that kind of thing. But it was just, it was a whole lifestyle thing. So for me, when I came to America, it was more focused on the cars and the bikes. So.
But you and Matt kind of had a crazy idea early 2000s to start your magazine.
Start a magazine, yeah. Yeah, so I met Matt in '95, and then we were always into, you know, cars and bikes and music and, you know, just the whole thing. And, you know, we were in bands together and all that. And he just came up with an idea. He was like, let's start a magazine. And my, you know, first reaction was, why? Nobody's going to buy it. Because, I mean, it was a really underground thing. It's so niche, you know. It was like, it's not just about custom motorcycles. It was like Triumphs and Harleys of certain years, of a certain style, in a certain, you know, it's like pretty...
Niche within a niche within a niche.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But, and that's what I said. I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. It'll be a lot of fun. Nobody's going to buy it, but we should do it for a laugh.
Yeah.
And we started Dice.
So
That's how it started.
Right, and we're now at issue 91, so I guess something worked out.
Yeah,
Right?
17 years, yeah.
Yeah, 17 years. But so there's a little period in time. So you're bouncing back and forward, London, LA, doing the magazine, doing your cars, doing your bikes. And you actually went off and became a bit of a rock star in Germany for a couple of years, playing in bands.
Couple of years, yeah. Did a couple.
So you had the whole rock star lifestyle, big bands supporting other bands.
Yeah, we had bands that supported us. They paid to play, and we just, you know.
Any big names that we would know?
Who do we play with? Simple Minds. We played the Brandenburg Tower for the World Cup, which was 250,000 people. I don't really want to name the band right now. They're still going, but it's all good. It was a good time.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
but again, it was just one of those things where it's always, you know, the music and the magazine and cars and bikes. It was always because it was passion first, you know.
So
it was never for money or anything. When the money got involved, that's when it got messy, and that's when it was like, nah, fuck this. I'm going back to LA, and I'm just gonna, you know, continue with Dice. And Matt then moved 2008, moved to America. I moved back to LA, and we just carried on.
Where was the 66 Harley in this? Was that back in England at that time?
That was in America. I bought that when I moved back after the tour. I was like, I need a bike.
So was it your first Harley?
Yeah.
And that was a 66 XL?
66 XLCH Sportster, kickstart only, factory magneto, fucking horrible to kickstart. Hyper extended my kneecap on that one a couple of times.
How long did you keep that one?
I had that for about 3 years, I think.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. And then in 2009, I bought my 57 Panhead, which I have today.
Well, now your 57 Panhead, you've ridden that in what, 8 countries around the world?
Yeah, I shipped it to Europe and rode through England, Denmark, Germany, Sweden, Belgium. Shipped it to Japan. That one's been all over.
Yeah. So when you shipped it to Japan, was that for a show or was that?
Yeah, it was for the Moon Eye show. Yeah, that was a big one.
Somewhere in the middle of all this, you've made a couple of long-form documentaries as well, or films actually.
Yeah, we did a couple of films. We did 21 Days Under the Sky for Fox, and the 6 Over documentary, which was quite good. But yeah, just I don't know, it just all kind of happened, you know.
Right. So sometime at this point, around 2005, you met your now wife out in LA.
Yep.
Married in 2011, got two young kids.
Two kids. Yeah.
So. And then kind of things changed for you because you ran into the guys from Prism in Alabama at a show, right?
Yeah, that was like 2015, I think.
Yeah. And so of you who don't know, Prism Supply is,
Yeah, I mean, they're the guys that have their shop in Charlotte, and they build great bikes. They make good products, parts for bikes. And I just remember when I met them, they were just these young kids on these great bikes, and I was like, fuck, it was their enthusiasm that I was drawn to, you know? And we got fucking hammered that night and drank moonshine, and they were like, "Did you come to Charlotte and do a Dice party?" I And I was like, all right, because we'd always have like a different event for each issue, launch it in, Vegas or California or whatever. And I was like, all right, let's try it out. And I came out here, and I think that was 2015 at the Snug Harbor. And it was just overwhelming. There was so many guys and girls on all these great bikes, and the vibe was so good that I was like, fuck, man, you got it really going on.
So
here.
you
This
didn't
is
realize
great.
you had such a great scene here in North Carolina?
I had no idea, because everything's so California based, with the internet and everything, it just spreads, and people, it's of course it's worldwide now, and so got to be friends with the Prism guys, Jake, who's the owner, and then we decided to try and do our own show. I was like, man, you got to highlight this. This is like amazing.
So you guys came up with the idea for the congregation, and that's really a big deal in North Carolina, isn't it? The congregation. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been to the show, but I mean, it's pretty special.
Yeah, and we have it at the original Model T Ford factory in Charlotte, which is an amazing place in itself. 4 years we've been doing that.
Right. Well, of course, we skipped a year with COVID, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But October 2021, we're back on.
Back on.
Yeah. I mean, it is an amazing event. I mean, you get bikes from all over the country. I mean, you really do get
We do. I mean, we like to highlight, the local surrounding areas. But, I mean, there's people coming from all over now.
Yes. I mean, if you guys haven't checked it out, I mean, you can get online, check out Congregation.
Yeah, thecongregationshow.com.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty excited that you're here in North Carolina.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
So tell us some of the stuff you're working on right now, because you've got a really particularly interesting 47.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, so Matt, my best friend and business partner, he passed away 4 years ago, unfortunately. And before he passed away, he gave me his motorcycle, which was a 68 generator shovel head. And same with that. He said, look, enjoy it. And if people come into town, let them use it. Like, it's a motorcycle. I want it to live on, So first thing I did with that was I shipped that to Europe, rode around Europe. I did a big event out there called Assembly, which is a big motorcycle show at the House of Vans, and then shipped it back, ridden it all over. And then last year, me and Jake from Prism decided to switch out the motor. I put a 47 knucklehead.
What was the reason for that? Was the oil one getting tired, or?
No, it was just such a fucking beast. It was like a built, kickstart only, high compression. It was a hot rod. It wasn't really, I want to, like, the plan was for this summer to ship the bike to Europe and, do another tour on it. So I was like, I'm just going to put a knuckle motor in it. And the other engine that was in that bike went into Jake's bike. So
it's a bit more rideable.
Yeah, and it lives on, and it's like, it's...
Yeah, memory to you. Good. I mean, you guys, 91 issues. I mean, how many years did you say? 17
years, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was Matt's vision, so you have his bike, and that vision lives on.
Yeah.
Which is really pretty sweet. And other things you're working on, because I know you've always got a bunch of fingers and a bunch of different pies. Putting the magazine out, getting ready for Congregation.
That's right. We've got the show, we've got the mag. We do, a lot of Dice TV stuff where we partner up with different brands.
So what is Dice TV?
Basically what it is it's our spin on and our creativity on, like, say Harley Davidson, and they want to do a Dice TV Harley Davidson collaboration video. We'll come up with a concept and, go out there and do it, film it our way, and then release it, have them do it through their channels. And then, we're doing the same thing with Gibson guitars and Indian motorcycles, and, and it's their way of kind of keeping in touch with, like, the cool underground that's always like the driving force, and then they have us to put our spin on it.
Right, because you just can't stand crass commercialism. I mean, you're always off out on the side of
Yeah,
stuff.
it took Harley Davidson 4 years before we let them advertise in the mag, because it didn't make sense for us, and it didn't make sense for them either. So I was just honest with them. Just said, if you're going to advertise, we need to at least be involved and help you have something where everyone's happy, And eventually they came around to it, and it's, I can't believe they listened to us, but they did it. And so, yeah, we've done some really fun stuff. And, and the other thing is, like, the people who buy the magazine, it's mind-blowing, because, so many people that I admire and respect, subscribe, like, Brad Pitt's a subscriber, and Ewan McGregor, and Dan from the Black Keys, and, all these people. I think the first time when we had a little office in Hollywood, and me and Matt were in there working, and we came out the front, and fucking Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols rode up And he was wearing a Dice hat and a Dice t-shirt. And I remember Matt just going like, "Oh, I can retire now." Fucking Steve Jones is wearing a Dice t-shirt. It's all
over there, right?
Yeah,
it's not going to get any better than
yeah.
this, right?
So and it's just the same thing, like Alex from the Arctic Monkeys and like all these people, and you just get to meet these really like cool, interesting people too, which is good.
So 91 issues in, how many are you going to go?
Fuck, I don't know, 100, and give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Publix. You work at Publix, right? Hours are good. Insurance. Less stress.
Great personality, greeter, right? Bag.
Yeah. I mean, there's no stress.
Right. So you're telling me the stress putting a magazine together?
Well, you know, you've always got to be like, it always has to be better than the last issue.
Yeah.
And it always has to be like, not cutting edge, but it's got to be like creative and fun. And, you know, it's hard to do when you do it like 4 times a year. So it used to be 6 times a year. We had to drop it to 4 because it was, when Matt passed away, it was too much. So
that's too much, yeah. And what are you building at the moment? Got anything special going on? You in prison working on anything cool?
Yeah, we found this fucking fantastic old 1952 Harley Davidson in a shipping container where the roof had caved in. And the guy that bought it brand new at Charlotte Harley Davidson. And it's a 1 year only color, Bronco bronze, original paint, but it's like a barn find. And so we pulled it out, and we're just in the middle of basically taking it all apart, cleaning it, and doing a mechanical restoration on it so we can put it back and keep all the soul, not rechrome anything, like just
not
restorated.
It's gonna be
Yeah, so we're working with Harley Davidson on that, and we're making a little documentary about that right now.
Nice. And that's a collaboration between Dice and Prism.
Yeah,
because you guys, I mean, if you guys are in Charlotte, you want to stop down there and see Prism. I mean, obviously your office is right there, Prism's right there. You're all doing super cool stuff. So
yeah.
Well, anyway, Dean, I think we should let you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We've been really looking forward to getting Dean on the show, giving us a little bit of his history, a bit of a local legend here in Charlotte.
I don't know about that, but
sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. I'll pay you later. Tenner.
Right, Dino.
Cheers.
Oh, it's Neil. Neil? Hello?
Basil?
Yeah.
Basil, where are you?
Dude, I'm at home.
What?
Yeah, I'm at home. Remember, I'm doing the cleanse.
We're filming.
Well, I figured, Nate could, fill in or something. How's it going over there?
Okay, you're home. You're not coming in.
I can't, man. This cleanse I'm doing is weird. I think it's paying off, but it's like, how do I explain it, man? I like anecdotal things. It's like a reverse restraining order where I have to stay close to a toilet. But seriously, if you got a minute, and I know I can get convoluted, but I think I've cracked the code, Neil.
Tell me, Basil, tell me.
So the cleanse, I really think I've got it this time. It's basically microdosing, meditation, and you focus on what you want. And I know that you told me to become sales manager for the channel, and I'm working on it. It's not like I have enough to do with props master and creative director and all that other stuff. But I've been at it for a week, and man, it's not even working. I did the microdosing, I did the meditation, I focused on this one rad OG beer brand, and fucking nothing. Doesn't that suck?
So you didn't get any product, Baz?
No, dude, it's just weird, man. No, the vibes felt good, and I was super stoked. I was yeah, we're about to get hooked up, and then nothing,
Okay, well, if the cleanse is going well, Baz, I can see Nate and I will just have to put the show together. I mean, the show just has to go on, Baz.
Yeah, I'll just keep you posted.
All right, Baz, see you soon.
All right, buddy, see ya. So yeah, I stole all this stuff, and that's messed up. But you know what? Neil, he's the last pure kind of motorcyclist. He just fucking rides around the world and does rad stuff, while the rest of us are either trying to look cool or do something else. So I don't want to corrupt Neil with commercialism. I'm not gonna let him touch any of this stuff. That might fuck him up. You know what I mean? I need to keep all this stuff because this whole promoting a brand all the time, it's so, I don't know, like I'm not trying to get on a high horse or anything, but it's just like, where's the elegance of just, God, it's hot in here, doing these lights, doing things that you love for no other reason because, you love them, you're not like trying to do anything other than just be, authentic. So that's why I feel it's important for me to keep all this stuff. Maybe it's important to just like have somebody who's not doing something, fucking just to make a buck. That's bullshit. Like, why have we gotten that way? I don't know. So I'm keeping all this stuff. Oh, it's Neil Bailey. Neil!
Basil!
Hey, man!
Got a bit of an emergency.
Oh, God, what this time?
God, we just had Dean on for the interview and he brought us a subscription for the magazine. I can't find them. What did you do with the Dice magazine?
I don't know. Where were they when you last had them?
I mean, they were in the studio. I mean, he's come all the way over here to give us an interview. He's talking about the magazine. He bought us a free subscription, a bunch of copies for us to look through. And I can't do a shameless plug because I can't find them.
Well, fucking grow up. Tie a bell on the things. I don't know, man. I don't have them. I mean, I'm not trying to be harsh, but like, I definitely have not seen them.
What am I going to do, Baz? I mean, I can't do a shameless plug without the magazine. I guess we'll just skip it this week, huh?
Well, tell you what, I'll stop what I'm doing here in a second, see if I can look around and find some stuff, because, you never know.
Alright, Baz, you let me know, call me, because, I mean, camera guy's going to be leaving soon. I can't
Yeah.
hold him here all night.
No, good point. Okay. All right, I'll give it a gander, I promise.
Alright, Baz, thanks.
Thanks, bud.
Good evening. I'm Nate, and this is Get Off My Lawn. Tonight, I want to switch gears a little bit, no pun intended, and talk to a group of people that I feel like I've ostracized a little bit here. Not everybody wants to ride a motorcycle, i.e. control it with their person. We're forgetting a large group of people that are also into motorcycling, your passenger. So let's take some time and talk a little bit about passenger etiquette. Okay? Maybe you've never ridden with someone before. Maybe you've never ridden a motorcycle with a passenger. Let's cover a few ground rules. Okay? First of all, when you're carrying a passenger behind you, which if you haven't gotten that, then you should just stop right there. They should be behind you, okay? Think about your passenger a little bit. Again, we talked about being selfish and such earlier. But think about your passenger. It may be one of their first rides, if not their first ride. If you ever want them to ride again with you, or if you ever want to get them into motorcycling, don't ride like a jagaloon, okay? Take it easy. Give them a few pointers, which we'll go over for them in a moment. Just slow your roll a little bit, man. Nobody's going to be impressed if you're scaring the shit out of them, okay? That just scares them and pushes them away. So don't do that, okay? Be easy on the clutch taking off. Easier on the brakes. Don't be jerky and remember, that's a bunch of weight back there. Even if it's a small child, it's more weight than you're used to. So the first few minutes, just ease into it. Kind of learn what that weight does. And some passengers aren't as adept to leaning in things like you are. So just feel it out a little bit. Number 2, make sure they have adequate protection. We keep pounding on this, And the only reason I keep harping on this no flip-flops and shorts is because I see you dipshits or dumbasses, cut one of those, doing it. I wouldn't be talking about it if you weren't doing it. You know what I mean? Make sure they have long pants, some closed-toed shoes, maybe something covers the ankle. You know, you're not sitting that far back, so you don't know where the pipes are back there and stuff. You don't want to give somebody a free, ugly tattoo. Okay? So now let's talk to the people riding behind the nitwit. Okay? Welcome to the fold. If this is your first ride, let me give you some pointers. Okay? First of all, leave the rider alone. Don't be poking and holding them real tight, or they're going too fast, start punching them. That is the exact opposite thing you need to do. Because then you're going to make them crash. Probably, right? Just, even if the person's being an idiot, just loosely hang on, and then when you get off the bike, punch them square in the mouth. Okay? But don't do it while you're riding, because you're endangering your own hide. Alright? 2, see earlier statement. Wear some damn clothes. You know what I mean? Chances are the bike is going to act different, and there is a chance you could crash. Always dress for the crash, not the ride. Yeah, you get the point, though. All right? You don't want to burn your legs. You smell something? What's that? It's me. No, you don't want that. All right? Also, something you probably don't think about, the steering and the actual ride is dictated a lot about where the weight is on the motorcycle. It's not like a car where you're driving a steering wheel and the car turns, okay? You're actually using your body weight to move and turn the vehicle, okay? So if the rider in front of you leans like this, you lean like that. If it scares you and you start doing this, all you're doing is fighting the way they're going, and it becomes, you know, a Charlie Foxtrot, if you will. So remember, loosely hang on, but hang on. Okay, usually hip, or I've seen shoulders, or you know, some jackets may have little handles you can hold on to. If it's someone you really like, you know, yeah, get them real, you know. But just don't, grab bear hug and stuff like that. That's not comfortable, man. Would you want somebody behind you, like, no. Lean a little bit. Loosen up a little bit. Don't be so tight. You know what I mean? Just feel the vibes. Okay? And then, of course, wear adequate clothes and shoes. Okay? I think if you listen to all these things, both of you can have a great, enjoyable ride. If you don't, here's to you. You know what I mean? When you're picking yourself up off the turf. Get off my lawn.